What's up, guys? It's Friday night. I got a quick check in for you guys. A conclusion that I just had while coming back is we're all GMs, we're all general managers of our own teams. When we grow up, a lot of us play team sports. We're put into teams not of our own choosing. And while we learn a lot of valuable lessons dealing with people that we might not have chose ourselves, we have complete choice later on in life to craft our own teams. I think that's very powerful. I feel really grateful because I'm really starting to hit my stride here and starting a squad. It's been long overdue. I have a lot of amazing friends from all over the world, and we all bounce around in different places all the time. But it feels like there's a good group of us out here that are consistently hitting the gym, for example, consistently making progress on mobility, consistently increasing the quality of our diet and our nutrition. And that's one of the synergies that is starting to unfold. So I was able to combine a bunch of great homies together, small but intimate group right now. And we got a couple guys that are really deep into the mobility space. So they're going to walk us through, for some of us mobility noobs here, uh, how to do some of the basics tomorrow. And we got another guy that's on top of the Brian Johnson diet. If you haven't heard of him, check him out. He is the most tested man on earth. He has basically iterated and refined the optimal routine for longevity. And this dude has turned back his biological clock by like over a decade. And he's aging slower than like a 10-year-old, which is crazy. So all of this knowledge sharing that we're putting together is just accelerating the process compared to if I tried to do this by myself, for example. And I think that's wonderful. I think a lot of times some of us might have a little bit of a short-minded approach where we think other people are going to slow us down, we could do things better. But the reality is like one individual could never outwork a team, especially a team of guys that are highly motivated and aligned with their goals. And in this case, we got a squad of people who are obsessed and dedicated. And I feel very grateful to be a part of this blossoming that's about to aspire.
One of the awesome things that we did today is we got on a group call. One guy sourced a chef, the other guy sourced the materials, supplements, and we're putting all of our joint effort together to coordinate how do we share the economics of a bulletproof diet so we can hit our goals that much harder. And that's like the beauty of what's happening when all of our goals are so aligned. And we basically combine forces into this like badass team. We're like almost kind of like the mystery men of adventures. I'm just joking. We are definitely a kick squad here.
This reminds me of something that I learned recently by Tom Bilyeu. He talked about the importance of developing an anti-fragile identity, and that's one that makes you stronger with more challenges. And usually, when something is fragile, there is a breaking point. When it, at some point, when you encounter enough challenges or adversity, things can break down. But having an anti fragile identity is one that gets stronger, like your immune system. Exposure to bacteria and disease and viruses can actually strengthen the immune system to be more resistant to those things in the future. And I was thinking about this. I was like, how can we apply this to work? Because we're all human. And I just reflected on even my current situation. I'm nursing bursitis, which is fluid in my deltoid. And I feel like I've been dealing with a lot of injuries and imbalances. there's only really one way forward, or two, or it's it's either I ignore it and just completely give up on health and fitness, or I do something about it and take it to the highest level that I possibly can. And there's no shortage of ways that I could be resourceful enough, diligent enough to go do that. And this is not the first time I'm dealing with injuries. Granted, this is something completely new that I've never experienced before. However, I'm no stranger to physical setbacks. Playing sports growing up as a kid, sprained my ankle, learned all the different things that can accelerate healing, how to do physical therapy, ice, and now I've built off that foundation to go down deeper rabbit holes within that space to nurse a wrist injury or an ACL surgery. And the list goes on and on. And every time I get hit with something, I learn even more about how to take care of my body at an even higher level. And it's only inevitable that I bounce back and I come away with even more knowledge of how to handle future adversity or situations or setbacks even better. And I think that mentality too of just like taking complete ownership and just constantly finding ways to heal and improve the situation is like a resilience that just shows up again and again because I know that I can fix or have some sort of control or at least find things that will help. And I already have like a basis of foundation that's built over time of how my body works and what things I can do to improve, how much rest I need, how much ice, heat patch, TENS unit, physical therapy, on and on and on. And I realize that's one example in my life right now where I feel it, but I don't let it get to me mentally. It is what it is. I just got to roll with it and let time do its thing. And as long as I'm doing the right things, taking care of my body, getting adequate sleep, and getting the right nutrients, being around amazing people, and elevating my spirits and emotions, and doing the same, things are going to be all right. And now it's thinking about how to add anti fragility in other areas of my life and your life. And I realize people skills has been one that has been incredibly beneficial, almost to a point where I've taken it for granted. It has made me more anti fragile because every social challenge that ever had to encounter has only boosted my capacity and my sense of confidence to be able to handle any social situation, no matter the circumstance, no matter the geography, where I am, who I'm with, what's the occasion, what's the situation. There's always a way to get through to somebody. There's always a way to like discover something new and make the best out of any moment. And it's made life significantly more interesting and full of pleasant surprises, even leading up to building this team as the GM of my own life. And I highly recommend that you push yourself to the limits socially by bringing in as much good energy or value as you can, just being very generous with it, sharing what you know and your gifts and skills to people in the right circumstance, and you'll attract a lot of great people in return who will then be able to not only enhance your life but take you up in an upward spiral together.
On the note of social skills and bringing good energy or values, one of the things that you can do, one of the things that's a sign that you're a close homie with somebody is when you can rag on them, when you can tease them. And we just had a great dinner out tonight, laughing so hard, just ragging each other for so many different things. Uh, and the time where you can do that with somebody depends on how much goodwill or rapport or warmth or good energy you bring initially. But I feel like when you bring those things in abundance and you jab someone from like a good place, a place of just showing love and just like teasing one another, it accelerates that friendship process too. And there's endless, infinite ways to be able to rag on each other. A lot of things that I probably can't say without getting canceled. But that's the beauty too. Like having that sense of humor really cuts deeper. A lot of the times, it's just shallow level stuff. So keep that in mind here. Maybe you already do it. Maybe you could do it even more. But we definitely pushed the limits a lot tonight. And you know what's awesome about that too? It's like that applies to everybody. You know, when you can jab at people in friendly ways, like even strangers that are you run into, or like the people that you see at the gym, you kind of poke them or tease them for different things, right? Like it really just makes your whole world feel like home. And I think I'm really grateful to be able to cultivate that experience wherever I go and have good people to also help do the same. And it just feels that much more fun when we got a squad, right? Like here's an example. I'll give you guys one juicy example today. Okay, so my boy, he's been keeping up with his end of the bargain of posting. I'll take his word for it. So he doesn't have to cut things off with his future Nazi girlfriend or convince her that he's gay. And today, we were working out. She walked by, and right before she left, he was like, "Oh, so like, you know, you're heading back to the retirement home?" He's teasing her because she doesn't really stay out that late or party, it seems. And she's like, "Oh yeah, like can't wait to go back." And she's playing along. I was like, "Yo, Buck, tell her about all the warm milk you got. You have more. You have warm milk for her, right? Like that's what grandmas drink." And so he's like, "Yeah, I have so much of that warm milk." And she pushes back. She's like, "Oh, but do you have the cookies?" And I had to interject on his behalf. I'm like, he was about to like take it a different direction, but I was like, "Oh, he has the best cookies. He has the best and the biggest cookies you've ever seen." And you're gonna get diabetes for sure because you're gonna love him too much. And we're all just like laughing our asses off. And she really didn't have any good comeback, but she just couldn't help but to smile. And I know she's gonna try to come up with something good next time now for the squad. And my boy loved it. He appreciated the little bit of the wingmanship and the quick wittedness. And my boy's also super quick witted too. And we elevate our banter because every night when we go out, or every moment that there's something funny to think about, our mind has just kind of like went there. And so it's like iron really does sharpen iron here, and we always come up with the best. And yeah, so that's an example of some of the ways that you can kind of tease things to move things forward with people that you choose potentially for your team.
That's it for now. Got to run. Super late, and yeah, it's been awesome. Just kind of experiencing the beginning of many other great things, and it feels like the momentum is really starting to pick up, and it's only been maybe like the first week. So continue kicking ass. Till next time, peace.